Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mackenzie Stewart, and I have an important question I'd like to ask. How many people honestly think they could go a day, or even a week, without using any technology whatsoever? Likely, very few people. In fact, there are some of you who are probably on your personal devices as I speak. While technology has grown with society's needs, it also appears to have grown out of hand so much that it is becoming an issue. Not only is technology negatively affecting the youth of today, it's affecting everyone. And it's being used as an escape from reality instead of being used as the helpful tool it should be. But I believe we as a generation can correct the many issues overuse of technology has caused. While technology wasn't as popular when many of us were younger, generations today are growing up with devices like iPads as their main toy. These children are being harmed because they're growing up technology driven. The website Psychology Today states, even the researchers were surprised to find that children spent more than 7.5 hours a day engaged in non-school related technology. This represented a 2-hour increase in the past 2 years. One of the many reasons this is an issue is because it's causing many children to become overweight. Children are sitting down playing video games instead of going outside, riding a bike, and being active. While yes, there are some interactive games where you can jump up and down or do whatever to interact with the game, it's not anywhere close to as much, nearly as beneficial as it would be if the children would go outside and exercise. Children are also playing too long on devices. As the quote says, it's represented a 2-hour increase in the past 2 years. 2 hours longer a day that kids are spending with their face in front of technology and in front of a screen is not what we need. We need people living in the world and embracing everything around them and not solely focusing on their phone or their iPad. It's also becoming a huge distraction in schools. While elementary schoolers can only get really distracted by the smartboard their teachers are using or the iPads put in front of them, middle, high school, and even college students are so easily distracted by this little piece of metal in their pocket. And all it is doing is hurting their education because they're focusing more on the phone that's in their pocket than they are on the words coming out of the teacher's mouth. Technology is also causing isolation and lack of social skills. There are many children who were outgoing. For example, my brother. Yes, he is a little overweight because he plays video games, but he has lost all of his social skills. When he was younger, he used to go around, meet new people out in public, and just become their best friend. And now he sits there and pays attention to my mom's iPad the entire time because he wants to pay more attention to what's on the screen than the people that he could be making friends with around him. It's also causing many children to focus on video games, for example, 24/7. My younger brother will sit there and can talk about video games for hours, but as soon as we get home, instead of wanting to spend time with the family, he wants to go straight to playing video games. And that's a very unhealthy habit that he's already getting at 10 years old. Another issue that mainly affects the teenage generation is that everyone just uses Google Maps instead of learning the route somewhere. You can look around, read the signs, see the scenery, and learn where you're going. But instead, so many people just plug it into their GPS and drive. They don't actually pay attention to where they're going anymore. And that's a serious issue when it comes to loss of technology, for example. If your phone dies, you're going to be lost because you haven't paid attention to where you're going the entire time. Another problem with technology is that it's being used as an escape from reality instead of a helpful tool. People are no longer living in the moment because they're too worried about taking pictures to post on social media. For example, the picture of the concert that I had in the slide was a recent concert that I went to, and while yes, I was taking a picture of the stage, and I can't be a critic about everything, the many people in front of me were all taking pictures of the same thing. Instead of living in the moment and experiencing everything, they're focusing solely on their phones and focusing on the little screen that the artist is coming up on their phone, and not paying attention to the fact that they're at an amazing concert at the moment. They're paying attention to their phone so they can post it or save the memories for later, when in reality, they're just trying to get them on social media, which doesn't make sense. Relationships are also becoming a little bit of an issue because they're solely over Snapchat, Instagram, text message, etc. Being in the same room with someone is no longer valued as much as it used to be. For example, I went golfing yesterday with one of my friends, and the almost entire time she was on her phone messaging other people. When we were in the moment listening to music and golfing, and she is completely ignoring me and paying attention to her phone, which seems severely unhealthy to me, but that's on her. People are also only showing the world what they want them to see, not who they truly are. when on social media you see everyone posting about all the amazing things happening in their life, you don't see them posting about when they're sad or when their life is just crumbling to pieces. You don't see people post that. You only see the happy moments that they want others to see. While it may be easy to see my point of view, I must also look at the opposing side. One positive of technology is it is easier to let students learn at their own pace. According to Odyssey Online, the use of technology from a very young age helps in schools due to the fact that it helps students want to learn, as well as it makes it possible for each student to learn at their own pace. Additionally, it allows learning to become more interactive than it has ever been before. Kids essentially have the world readily available at their fingertips. If they want to know something, they can look it up on the internet in just a few seconds, have an answer. While I do agree that answers are much easier to access now with technology, kids are no longer having to work hard to find their answers. They just Google it. Instead of going into a library and checking out a book and having to actually look for all of your background information and everything for a speech or a paper, teenagers are just looking up on their phone. And that's it. And they're just done. And it's not a lot of work that they're putting into it, so their papers don't sound as good as they could have if they would have put harder work into it. Although, one thing I will agree is mainly possible because of technology and social media is that technology allows connection with a larger variety of people. So people who have similar interests, old friends that you had that you no longer are as connected with, etc. The only problem is that the connection purely through technology isn't anywhere close to as personal as the one-on-one conversation had in person. When you're sitting there having a conversation with someone, it means a lot more when you can see their face, hear and see their reactions to the things that you're talking about, instead of just sending them over text and someone saying, haha, and in reality they're just sitting there not caring. But you don't know that because everything is over social media. While technology has become a problem in our society today, there are many ways you can try to help fix it. One, being to spend less time on technology yourself. Yes, it is so beneficial. I personally took an entire 24 hours without technology, and that day was absolutely amazing. I woke up a little later than I should have, which is perfectly fine, but then I got to spend the day doing things I love, like coloring, spending time in nature, playing with my dogs, and everything like that, that otherwise I would be distracted by my phone and not think to do those things. So it was definitely nice to take a full 24 hours off. Not only does spending less time on technology benefit you, it encourages the younger generations around you to not use technology, because you can set a good example with your own actions and helping them a little bit that, okay, maybe you shouldn't get on technology so much, but setting a good example with your actions are going to be what influences your brothers, sisters, children, whatever, cousins, because they will see that, oh, you're on technology less, so I should too, because I should learn after you, because a lot of younger children look up to the older people around them. For those with children, or even younger siblings sometimes, they need to find a balanced relationship with technology and the amount of time the children should be on it. While yes, it is sometimes hard to monitor all of that, I feel like the more strict parents or siblings are with their younger children or brothers and sisters, that they're going to learn so much faster that technology isn't everything and they can play with toys or go outside, and it's such an enriching experience to see kids just give up that technology that they've been attached to and go out and enjoy the beautiful days. To conclude, I'd like everyone to think back to their childhood. Remember all the fun outdoor adventures you had growing up, whether it was bike riding, playing basketball, or even just going on a walk. Now imagine if you lost all that. While technology is a blessing, we also need to keep in mind its many dangers when taken advantage of. Technology isn't here to make us or our future generations tech-based robots, and it's not here to take over our life and constantly be a distraction. Technology is a useful tool that needs to once again be seen as such. Thank you.